in julle moue of weggesteek vir vanjaar?
Wel, ons begin met dieselfde karre wat ons laas jaar gehad het en ons hoop net alles gebeur beter as laas jaar. Alles het verkeerd gegaan. En ons gebruik maar hierdie reis om die dinge reg te kry vir die Nationals.
Ja, lekker ry Tony, Hendrik en Roger Fatma.
Well, Tony Viana, the dark horse of this race, he's made a strong comeback in the same motor car he used last year, as you heard, and he's the lap record holder. And he's more or less phased out his other competitors on the line, like Peter Lance, Robbie Smith, who won the last Yellow Pages race here at Kyalami back in November. And Robbie was thinking, well, I'm going to get on pole today. But back into the fray comes Tony Viana in the Winfield BMW. Right, what they're going to do now, they'll be going on a warm-up lap and they'll come back to this grid and then we'll have this race underway. Geoff Goddard is on the third row of the grid. He's the chief tester for BMW here in South Africa of the motor cars, knows the thing about cars and tyres and performance and road holding. Geoff is then car number 10, another one of the Winfield BMWs. Then alongside him, and a very aggressive little drive there, Willie Hepburn in the Opel Kadett. He's like flying the flag here for Opel here today. Their works team will be seen in action for the first time at Midval on the 16th of February, but in the meantime, Willie Hepburn is up there flying the flag for Opel. Then it's Gino Remondini, also from BMW himself. He works over there at BMW. And then we've got a newcomer, former motocrosser. He's a 125 champion 1981 before he went over to the States to ride. Daryl Werner, he's in the Albaranti Class A motor car, which he's got himself and got it sorted out by the Delta Motorsport team. It's going to be nice to see he's done a very respectable time there of 1 minute 48.9. So it's about a second and a half off the pace set by Tony Viana. Then alongside him we've got the first of the B-class cars, and that is Martinez Breers, also a motocrosser, doing very well in his golf. Is Martinez Breers expected to win, but his competition is coming from Brian Late from the Delta Force and Safik Racing team in 33. He's moved up from Class E. You'll be able to see that is the little green and white cars coming around West Bank Corner at the moment. This is a new innovation you're seeing here. It's going to be exactly the same as Grand Prix starting. They'll be doing that warm-up lap. They'll come back to the grid, and then the green flag from a marshal at the back of the grid will say we're ready to go, and then they'll be watching the red light, and between 4 and 7 seconds, as they do in a Grand Prix, this race will be underway. Right, on the first of C-class cars, I don't think there's got too much competition today, is Mike White, the inland champion. He's also the national champion in this class. Very fast indeed is Mike White in the Toyota Conquest RSI. Then Brian Late comes next in the Class B Delta Force Opel. Alongside him, the first of the 1600 cars, that's Ben Morgenrud in the Mazda. And Ben, of course, is leading that class. He won the South African production car title before, did Ben Morgenrud in a Mazda, the cars that he loves so much. But looking a little further back, also in a Delta Force car, Mike O'Sullivan is in the 1400 Cub, and his competition is going to come from Paolo Franceschi and Lindsay Stain in their cadet Cubs in the 1400 class. Now they'll be coming up to the line, they'll be stopping, green flag, watch the lights, and we'll be underway with this race. It's 10 laps of 40 kilometers, and it's going to be an exciting one. Peter Lance is this side of the grid. You can see he's in the Dots Wheels car, in the black and green car. Tony Viana's on the far side. The silver cars, the JSN Motors BMW of Robbie Smith, then is Geoff Goddard and Willie Hepburn, will wanting to be getting amongst that pack of BMWs. So he'll be supported by Daryl Werner. It's a hard job here. To be up against all these BMWs is quite an undertaking. Right, that 5-second board has vanished. Watch for the red and the green. There's the red. Within 4 to 7 seconds it's going to turn to green. You'll be able to see this in the Grand Prix as we get underway. The first Yellow Pages standing race of the season gets underway as they come towards budget. And the man with the advantage here is Peter Lance, moving across to keep Viana out. He's bringing Robbie Smith with him. Smith gets into second spot there. Nice piece of driving. There's Martinez Breers, and the dealer team Volkswagen Golf is always pawing the air as he goes around. Then he's being followed by Mike White in the Toyota Conquest. It's Lance, it's Robbie Smith, it's Tony Viana, it's Geoffrey Goddard, it's Willie Hepburn comes next. Daryl Werner's in there too. I see Brian Late is well placed, and there's the 1400s coming out of Yellow Pages into the Top Sport S's for the first time in this 10-lapper. Mike White goes through there, a very hard man to beat. His race single-seaters overseas as they climb up the Winfield Hill to Westbank. They can't see this corner arriving suddenly on the shelf, and Robbie Smith is wanting Peter Lance. very happy. I was talking to him in the pits a little bit early. He says Viana's the man he wants to get ahead of, because if he's behind him, he's going to find it very difficult to pass him during the race once Viana settles down to this race. They come down the mine shaft, the RGR mine shaft, for the first time through the left-hander, absolutely flying down through there, going down there at about 170 kilometers an hour, onto the brakes for Continental Tire corner. There's Gino Remondini's got Willie Hepburn on his tail as they go round and out of Continental through brilliant signs, and now they head down the fastest point of the circuit. Peter Lance is in the front, the Dots Wheels BMW. Behind him he's got Robbie Smith. Then it's Tony Viana, Geoff Goddard, Willie Hepburn, Gino Remondini. There's Daryl Vernon, the motocrosser we spoke about. Went to the States and he's staying right in the pack. This is his first ever race in Standing Group in racing. As they appear in sight, and it's very heavy braking from Robbie Smith. He nearly lost the whole plot there as he came through Nashua corner. One lap is gone, 9 exciting laps to go.
En as ons al gewonder het waar die Opel Cadets is, dis natuurlik nie 'n nasionale kampioenskapswedren hierdie vandag nie. Dit tel alles punte vir die geel bladsy kampioenskapsrace. Kyk vir Robbie Smith, wat daar vir Tony Viana baie moeilikheid gee daar deur budget draai, maar steeds is dit Peter Lance wat die voortou neem en daardie gaping groter maak tussen hom en die manne agter hom. Peter Lance natuurlik een van die meer ervare renjaars in Suid-Afrika, was reeds voorheen die Wesbank gemodifiseerde kampioen gewees, so 'n jaar of 2-3 gelede, en hy wys dat daardie ervaring tel. Nog steeds Robbie Smith en Tony Viana. En Tony Viana het vroeër vanoggend vir my gesê hy gaan nie meer terugstaan vir enigiemand voor hom nie. En Viana het nou daar die voortuig geneem voor Robbie Smith. Geoff Goddard probeer nie buite die binnekant. Wat gaan gebeur hier in Wesbank? Is Geoff Goddard en Robbie Smith aan die binnekant van Wesbank, draai Robbie Smith wat daar die tweede posisie inneem van of liewer Geoff Goddard wat die posisie inneem daar wat Robbie Smith gehad het. So dis nou nog steeds die Dodge Wheels BMW van Tony van Peter Lance wat voortou het. En hierdie manne veg baie hard. Willie Hepburn in sy eie persoonlike motor, die Opel Kadett, die enigste van die Opel Kadets in klas A. Vandag hier is 'n privaat inskrywing. En hy is op die oomblik in die 4de posisie. En kort agter hom is dit Gino Remondini. Klas B voorloper op die oomblik nog Martinus Breers. Klas C Mike White. Klas D is dit Ben Morgenrood, maar ons hou die voorsprong dop hierso. Kyk wat gaan aan in die stryd hier om die tweede posisie. Motor nommer 9 is die motor van Geoff Goddard. Volgende op die oomblik, Peter Lance nog steeds voor. Kyk, dit is stryd die man om daardie posisie deur Nashua draai. Dis die draai net voor die begin van die pylvak hier onder ons verby. Volgende Peter Lance, Tony Viana, Robbie Smith met Geoff Goddard, Willie Hepburn, almal daar in hierdie posisies verander. As nog 8 rondes wat oorbly verder terug. Is dit Gino Remondini, Daryl Werner wat ook goed doen in sy kadet. Hy sê daar is net een, daar is die ander kadet natuurlik. Ek hier op die binnekant van die draai. Een van die BMW's wat bietjie oorywerig is daar die binnekant van budget draai. Martinus Breers in voorloper in klas B, Mike White in klas C, in klas D is dit Ben Morgenrood en in klas E op die oomblik is dit Michael Sullivan. Die eerste van die topsport is die tweede van hier word absoluut geen genade gegee of gevra nie. Baie hard word daar gestryd. Peter Lance wat 'n gemaklike voorsprong het met nog 7,5 rondes wat oorbly as hulle deur Wesbank draai ingaan.
And that battle between Geoff Goddard, Robbie Smith, Tony Viana and Willie Hepburn behind them has given Peter Lance the opportunity of pulling away. That's all that it's really done, given Peter Lance the advantage, and he's pulling away. But Tony Viana has certainly been in the scrap so far in this race. He's been in and out of the corners, taking a bit of the grass with him, gone a bit farming as well out of Nashua once already. He nearly lost it, but he really is trying absolutely everything that he can. Gino Remondini in the BMW behind Willie Hepburn. That's amazing watching Willie Hepburn out there yesterday. He really was flying. Peter Lance, he is in the lead, pulling away at the moment from Geoff Goddard behind him, and then Robbie Smith and Tony Viana. That's where the battle is at the moment. Tony Viana, right behind him is Willie Hepburn, and Willie Hepburn really wants to show them a few things here today. In that Opel Kadett, out of Nashua they come into the start-finish straight once again. Robbie Smith in your picture now coming out of that corner. Just watch how tight they'll come out that corner, touching the gravel. That's Tony Viana being pushed very hard by Willie Hepburn over the start-finish line to complete yet another lap. Robbie Smith there in the silver BMW. He's in 3rd position, but there comes the battle. That is Tony Viana and Willie Hepburn. Willie Hepburn will try absolutely everything to get past Tony Viana. Takes a tighter line into yellow pages. Out they come, up towards the Top Sport S's. At one stage it was just a snake of BMWs, but now the Opel getting in between them. There they are, Willie Hepburn absolutely throwing it around, lifting that front tyre off the ground. Up the Winfield Hill towards West Bank. And let's see what happens now. This could really be interesting coming up into West Bank. Trying to go on the inside is Tony Viana. Now right behind Willie Hepburn is Gino Remondini. Great racing in this Stanek Group N. They really are flying down the mine shaft. Up to 170 odd kilometers an hour. That's Willie Hepburn in car number 2. Round they come once again in towards Continental Corner. And then up the hill. The circuit in absolutely magnificent shape. Of course, we just had Formula 1 cars here testing. And here they come. Peter Lance in the lead. Geoff Goddard second. Robbie Smith third with the orange headlights. Viana, there's Willie Hepburn and Gino Remondini. That's where the battle is at the moment. And that battle for 5th and 6th position. Into total curve. Try and cut as much of the road as they possibly can. Going a bit wide there, Willie Hepburn trying everything, and there's Remondini right behind him. Right behind him. You can see the dust in the background as one or two of the cars have gone a bit wide coming out of that final corner. But Willie Hepburn now all of a sudden under siege from the BMW of Gino Remondini. Let's see what he can do. Here they come once again into Yellow Pages. Round they go. Remondini. Down he comes. Up towards the Top Sport S's. It's Peter Lance, Geoff Goddard, Robbie Smith, Tony Viana, Willie Hepburn, Gino Remondini. Those are the first 6 positions. There's Remondini in 6th position. Up the Winfield Hill towards West Bank.
And as they hit the brakes for West Bank Corner, Lance has got problems coming up behind him in his mirrors. There's Willie Hepburn with Remondini on his tail. Willie Hepburn, a very fine drive in that Superboss Opel. But ahead there's Lance, and Goddard is closed. We've got those 6 laps to go. You can see it's Lance and Goddard almost tied together. Smith has got Viana looking through his back window. Then it's Willie Hepburn and Remondini in the shot now as they fly down through the IGI left-hander. They come towards us, touch the brakes, you see the nose go down, it upsets the balance of the car, and then they feed on the powers. They come through Continental Tire Corner, go right to the outside. Louis is telling the Grand Prix cars were here. They were going through the middle of that corner, hardly using all of the road, but of course that is #1 road holding in the world. Here comes Lance, and Goddard is now starting to work out a plan how he's going to pass him. Willie Hepburn with Remondini, beautifully turned out. He is also a BMW man through and through, works for the plant, and just lives for racing this motor car. As they come into view, fly Danacia, and Willie Hepburn's using a new line. It's a very difficult corner, this one. You've got the car at full stretch, going around a left hand, and then suddenly tightens on you and really upsets the balance. You've got to brake and do everything all at once. There's Lance now with Goddard on his tail. Smith has got Viana. They're the older hands now. Peter Lance has prepared a lot of racing cars in his life. Comes from Switzerland. Has raced big Chev Camaros. He's raced the Sabat Golf in the West Bank modifiers. He's won his class in the Stanek Group N. As we have Martinez Breas with Mike White on his tail. Look at this, the B and C class cars. Those Toyotas have got new speed. Mike White from the East Rand has got Pretorius Martinez Breas, the B class leader in the Volkswagen Golf GTI, in his sights as he goes through Yellow Pages. They're just screaming those tires. Mike White sits very low down in his car. He's in fact he's a tall driver, so is Breas. Breas is a former motocrosser. Mike White has raced overseas with the likes of Ayrton Senna in the Formula 2 and Formula 3 days. Through the second, the Top Sport S, a lovely shot as they haul on through the second S, and then they power on up that hill. And White's looking for a place to pass as he's got the lighter car. He's going through the inside berth. Is Breas going to keep him out? Closes the door as he goes around West Bank, lifting that inside back wheel, as you can see. Just listen to them revving those engines. These are totally standard motor cars, well put together, well tuned. Breas does his own, so does Mike White up front. So White is keeping him inside and getting away from the other C-class cars as Breas is getting away from the other cars in his class. And they are trying, as you can see, it's wild out there. They're lapping at nearly record breaking times around here. And here we come again. And Goddard is starting to look for a place past. Smith is getting away from Viana. And then it's Willie Hepburn still with Remondini still, and Daryl Werner, very good performance, and he's trying it now. Now with those 4 laps to go, 6 laps we've had, we've got 16 kilometers of this race left, and Goddard is looking. Maybe Lance has overheated his tyres when he got away first in this race and was trying very hard. They are really revving those beautiful sounding 6-cylinder BMW engines. And so 1, 2, 3, 4 there for BMW. Hepburn flying the flag for Opel. And if you're a betting man, my money wouldn't be, I wouldn't put my money down just at this moment. Could be any one of those 4 competitors in front. Because Goddard is a very aggressive driver. When he wants through, he's going to come through with a vengeance. Viana's got the battle scars on his motor car to show that he's been in the wars already with Robbie Smith. Quick out of there goes Lance. He accelerates out of West Bank corner so quickly. Now it's down through the gears. They come through there in 2nd gear. It's down up to 3rd and up to 4th. And they hold it all the way down there. Get the car set up. It's over on its right-hand springs very hard there. Goddard now has got other problems coming. He's got to sort out how he's going to get past Peter Lance. And just to complicate the whole thing, he looks in his mirror and guesses they're determined Robbie Smith. There's some of the 1,400 cars just ahead of them, just about on schedule as they come up to finish the 7th lap. Here's Lance now. You can't separate those 4 cars. Any one of these 4 cars can win this race. Lance is likely to. Goddard will aggressively push his way through. A very fast Robbie Smith is on his tail. He uses more of the road, does Robbie, a little bit wider than the others. The danger here, of course, that you can overheat your car when you travel. Look at that lovely shot as these 4 BMs come towards us. These are the Shadowline 325 ISs. That's the 2.7 litre. And Robbie Smith's got Viana going to swoop at him out of the sun. Whoa, they're all planning and plotting, and there's a lot of experience. Here come the E-Class cars, 1400, also heavy into their dice there, and Goddard is pushing. He's letting him know that I'm there, and so is Goddard. So is Tony Viana at the back there. So it's going to be one of these 4, that is for sure.
En dis waar dinge gaan begin interessant raak hierdie, waar die vinnige motors die stadiger is begin inhaal. Wow, en dis Viana, is dit Viana wat dwars gaan daar? Is dit miskien, dit lyk amper of dit Robbie Smith is wat hom moontlik geraak het, maar dit kan ook wees dat hy net te vinnig in die eerste vliegtuigsport is ingegaan het. Tony Viana wat baie hard geveg het, hy gaan probeer om daar uit te kom, maar daai sand is baie sag en hy gaan sukkel om daardie motor daar uit te kry. Ons gaan bly by hom, die volgorde bly nog steeds dieselfde aan die voorpunt, maar ek dink Tony Viana is uit. Ja, Tony Viana is uit. Ons weet nie wat daar gebeur het nie. Miskien het Robbie Smith hom geraak. Miskien het Viana net te vinnig in die draai gegaan en die motor se sterkte beweeg na die buitekant toe en het hy van die baan afgekom. Kom ons kyk of ons iets kan sien. Wel, ek weet nie of ek daar enige uitspraak wil maak nie. Viana het hom aan die buitekant probeer neem van die eerste van die Topsport S. En ek weet nie of mense kan sê of hy hom geraak het of nie. Miskien het so 'n klein ligte stampie gegee. Die 2 manne is natuurlik goeie vriende van die baan af, maar op die baan self word daar absoluut geen genade gegee of gevraat is. Nou, 'n bietjie verder terug is daar 'n geweldige interessante stryd in klas E tussen die voorloper Mike O'Sullivan in die Delta Force motor en Paolo Franceschi, maar dit is Geoff Goddard wat daar in Nashua ingaan en hy by Peter Lance verbykom aan die einde van die 8ste ronde en ons het 'n nuwe voorloper in hierdie wedren. 'n Nuwe voorloper in klas A, Geoff Goddard wat by Peter Lance verbykom en hom terugskuif na die tweede posisie toe. Ek dink Roger is reg. Daar's nog 2 rondes wat oorbly en enigiets kan nog gebeur. Ek dink hy was reg geweest. Ek dink Peter Lance waarskynlik sy bande net so klein bietjie te hard laat werk in die begin. Jy kan sien onmiddellik is dit Geoff Goddard wat daardie gaping groter maak tussen hom en Peter Lance. In die derde plek is oomblik Robbie Smith. En ek het die idee daar gemaak so 'n bietjie harde woorde val in die wel aanraking was tussen daardie 2 motors. Gaan daar dalk harde woorde val aan die einde van hierdie wedren. Kom ons kyk wat is die man in die 4de plek. Is hy terug? Is dit hom hier as Tony Viana, maar ek twyfel, ek dink Viana is nog vastgevang daar. Nee, ek dink of hy terug is. Ek sien nie sy motor. In elk geval, die Hepburn is daar, Gino Remondini nog steeds kort agter op Daryl Werner wat 'n baie goeie debuutwedren hier in stelling groep N maak in klas A. In sy Opel Kadett 2 liter Superboss en in klas B die stryd nog steeds tussen daar is die Tony Viana en net agter hom is dit motor nummer 33 van Brian Light. Dis die klas B Delta Force Opel Kadett motor van Brian Light. Hy lê op die oomblik in die 2de posisie in klas B, nee, in die 3de posisie in klas B. So Peter Lance op die oomblik in die 2de plek is in klas A en algeheel Geoff Goddard wat voor hom begin wegtrek as hulle deur Continental beweeg op na Brilliant Science, die bulkie en dan na die vinnigste gedeelte van die baan. Die Formule 1 motors wat vroeër was, het daardie gedeelte van die baan 290 km/h gehaal as hulle daar deur daai draai gaan sonder om te rem. 290 km/h deur total draai waar die motor sou deur gaan. En dit is besonder vinnig. So dit is wat die volgorde is in hierdie stadium. Geoff Goddard, Peter Lance, Robbie Smith, Willie Hepburn in die eerste 4, dan is dit Gino Raimontini in die 5de plek met Darryl Werner in die 6de plek. Martinez Breer 7de en die eerste in klas C voorloper in die 8ste posisie algeheel Mike White in sy Toyota Conquest. Maar dit was 'n interessante wedren tot dusver. Iets moes gebeur het in daardie stryd tussen daardie twee manne.
And on to the last lap they go, and Peter Lance now demoted down to 2nd position. Some great driving by Geoff Goddard, and Robbie Smith in a comfortable 3rd position at the moment, and quite a long way away from him is Willie Hepburn. But Tony Viana was certainly trying everything that he could and tried just a touch too hard and lost it, and off he went into the sand, and he's managed to get back on the circuit. He's trying to find his way back to the field, but there's going to be no chance whatsoever of him catching these leaders who are really flying at the moment. That's the man in 2nd place, Peter Lance, and watch him go up to West Bank. Round the corner they come. Geoff Goddard in the lead, Peter Lance in 2nd place, and what a fine battle that these BMWs have given us here today. Fine battle, as they did last week at Kyalami. That's the man in 2nd place in the Dots BMW. That's Peter Lance, who of course raced in the Yellow Pages German touring car race just on the 24th of November last year. And Goddard's on his way towards victory in the Stanley Group N race. Here he comes up over the hill, and just in front of them a great battle in Class E. Mike O'Sullivan involved there, between Mike O'Sullivan and Paolo Francesco. Round they go once again, up towards the checkered flag they come on this, the final lap into the start-finish straight. Round they come, that is car number 10. Geoff Goddard started in 4th position on the grid, and he's now heading towards victory. Right behind him is Peter Lance. And here they come, there's the flag. Victory then in this Stanley Group N first heat to Geoff Goddard. And 2nd, Peter Lance. 3rd, Robbie Smith. Willie Hepburn will come in 4th position. And round they come once again, all the cars coming through to complete this particular lap. But there's another dice coming on at the moment. That looks like Mike White at the moment in the Toyota Conquest, and Martinez Breers in front of him as they come round. Can White do something and get back? And there's Tony Viana behind him. Not that he's of any interest. Well, Mike on the inside, a little bit of wheel locking there by Breers, but it looks like he's going to hold him off. What is Mike White going to do? Tries to go on the inside. Will he get to the line first? No, he won't. He won't get to the line first. So Breers gets through in his Class B Golf 16 valve, and it is Mike White in that Class C Conquest. But Geoff Goddard winning. Tony Viana, creditable 8th position rather.
Om weg te spring in die tweede uitdaging van die Stanley Groep N wedrenne, en dit is natuurlijk deel van die geel bladsye uitdagreeks wat vandag hier op Kyalami by Midrand plaasvind. Ek moet sê die wolk is besig om saam te pak hier aan die noordekant, en dit kan wees dat ons dalk later vandag so 'n bietjie meer opwinding gaan sien wanneer die reën uitsak. Dit was die motors wat gereed gemaak het om te begin wegspring. Die wegspring volgorde natuurlik die volgorde waarin hulle geëindig het. Is onthou dat ons net nou vroeër vir u gewys het hoe hulle geëindig het. Geoff Goddard wat 'n baie goeie oorwinning behaal het in klas A met Peter Lance wat kort op sy hakke geëindig het nadat Lance lank voorgeloop het. Daar is Geoff Goddard, motor nommer A10, die Winfield BMW 325 IS, of soos hy in remkringe bekend staan, die 327, natuurlik 'n 2,7 liter 6-silinder BMW enjin daaronder enjin kap. Peter Lance net langsom op die wegspringrooster. Dis die volgorde waarin geëindig het. Robbie Smith en Willie Hepburn in sy privaat ingeskrewe Opel Kadett Superboss in die 4de posisie. Onder op die wegspringrooster soos gewoonlik, die man wat vir allerhande motors allerhande name gee, is Graham Cooper.
Thank you, Hendrik. I've got no names, but Geoff Goddard, we know him as an exceptionally hard driver. And Geoff, you gave the Swiss Mountain Goat quite a hard time during the last heat. And this heat, do you think it's going to be a runaway, or do you think Peter's going to give you a hard time?
Okay, here at Kyalami, a Group N race is never a runaway, but from the last race, I'm feeling quite confident, obviously, having come from 4th on the grid through to the front. I'm sure Tony Viana has done something extra to his car. Well, I know he has because we're in the same pit, and he's hoping to come from where he is right to the front, so it's going to be a good one to watch, that's for sure.
Well, in the last race, you didn't have it all your own way. It was real hard driving, and with rain looming, I haven't got my weather forecaster here today, but with rain looming at Westbank, I think one could get quite excited, you know, behind the wheel and overcrossed and everything if it starts raining.
Well, I see on the warm-up lap now, there has been some oil drop there, so if it does rain, that's going to be the place to watch. Of course, we're all on dry tyres, so if the rain comes in, it'll be just a skating match, nothing else.
It's going to be nice and hard driving. We'll stay out there and let's see if you can do it 2 in a row.
Thank you.
And that's Geoff Goddard, foremost in world stock car racing. There's Tony Viana with his hand out there cooling, just getting ready for off. They're going to have that warm-up lap. And Geoff Goddard, very big friend there of Derek Warwick's, used to run world hot rods in years gone by before he came back settled here in South Africa. That's number 10 is Geoff Goddard. He pushed his way past Lance to win that last one. Tony Viana, a little further back. There's Remondini now spinning it away down the pits. A nice, glamorous, expectant crowd waiting for this race. It's always very popular standing group end racing. It was a great series last year. Now this is the warm-up lap. This is not the start. They'll be coming round, and if you haven't been with us earlier this afternoon, it's going to be as per Grand Prix starts. They will be coming around to the starting grid again. And then let's just follow these cars around the circuit. If you've never watched it, Kyalami. Budget Corner is the first right-hander for Sunset. This is the one that Nelson Piquet says should be turned into a 90-degree right-hander.
So
it has, and Hendrik knows that, as we've seen visually when Hendrik hit the wall on the left-hand side of Yellow Pages. This is Yellow Pages, the popular one. A very popular viewing spot where the cars all come crowding in together, and they've got a bit of room on the outside going out, but there's Shark's Teeth, but you tend to go in there a little bit too fast. Then the S's, they keep to their left of the road there as they go through the first S's, and then go hard into the curb, and then let it go out to the outside of Armco as they go up the Winfield Hill there to Westbank, with it all pulling very hard up. They're probably third gear in a production car like a 6-cylinder BM. Then we come up the shaft to Westbank. This is a tricky one. There's lovely panoramic view of Kyalami down there below you. That's across the left-hand side, Westbank. Big stand and entertaining facility of Westbank. Very much into racing there. Because the Westbank racing very popular. Here's the frightening mine shaft. Has become world famous these days. The mine shaft. Grand Prix cars go down here 270, 280, absolutely flat out to the left-handed IGI. That's the insurance company. They go through here flat out, and as they straighten out, as they come towards us here, they onto the, very heavy onto the brakes. And you can see this kitty lit, as they call it, in front of you. If they make a mistake, it'll be onto the sand. Then it's into continental tire cornering, probably the most difficult one, because you've got to brake at the start of it, get yourself up, go close into the curve that you see down below you, then you let it drift to the outside, and you're just about going round in a circle, and then suddenly it veers to the left through Brilliant Signs, which is the one you see now as they come over the hill. And this is the fastest point in the circuit, mainly because it has a very fast approach to it as you come up and start going down this hill. Here's the tricky one coming now. This is the fastest point. The Grand Prix car's 291 kilometers an hour that Nelson Piquet went through in the Benetton Ford. I shot there Brian Late in the Safik and Delta Force racing car. He's come up from the 1400cc class, and there's the 1400. Very tight racing there. Mike O'Sullivan won the 1400 class earlier. Ben Morgenrud won the 1600s. Mike White won Class C. That's for cars up to 1800. And then we had the Martinez Breers winning the 2.3 litre class, and then the unlimited class being won by Geoff Goddard in the BMW. We've just been speaking to a little earlier, Graham Cooper down on the starting grid. Nice big crowd here at Kyalami. It's starting to cloud over a wee bit, as Graham was saying there. Thunderstorm maybe late in the afternoon. It always adds to the excitement, because this is all-weather sport. Robbie Smith is there in that beautifully turned out JSN, that silver beam with those red headlights just behind them, and he's going to make a demon start through the middle. He was very quick before. They've got the flag to say it's ready to go. You'll see them now. The lights will come on, and this race 10 laps, red light between 4 and 7 seconds. Beat is Geoffrey Goddard, and we've just watched behind the standing group in signage, and we see Peter Lance has gone to the front, and squeezed through the middle there was Robbie Smith, getting a lot of panel beating work for Monday morning. Robbie Smith, as they spread out there, he wanted to get to the front, which he has done. He's just done it from third position. He says if he gets past Lance and Goddard, they are not going to see which way he's going, because they're very difficult guys to pass, are Lance and Geoffrey Goddard. And of course Viana's in that pack as well. Robbie Smith is there. Then it's Peter Lance. Then it's Geoff Goddard. There's Willie Hepburn in 4th. Tony Viana 5th. There's Daryl Werner, former motocrosser, in the Albaranti car. I see at the back there he's got Lakefield panel beaters. That must be waiting for the work on Monday because it's rough out there. And Lance goes through on the inside, and Robbie Smith, as he held it, Goddard's gone through to the front. Neck and neck. It's a panel beater's dream. This is standing group N racing. They can find so much work here on the Mondays. They some very forceful drivers, and all out there to show that the sponsors have all made the right choice. Robbie Smith has been 3rd in this race from the starting line. He's been to the front, and now he's lying 2nd. Geoff Goddard's in front. The 3rd man who popped into 3rd Smith there was Willie Hepburn. He just went through there, and here they come down towards us. It's Geoff Goddard, former world stock car racing champion and the chief test driver for BMW. Here's Robbie Smith in 2nd position there now, coming to nicely turned out car and silver. Willie Hepburn's in 3rd, then it's Peter Lance, Tony Viana, and Daryl Werner right in there with him, enjoying his first taste of motor racing, the Class A standing cars. It's really going into the deep end to come up from motocross. He raced it here, where he was champion in 81. He raced in America. And Daryl, very fit and very fast. He's right in there with the heavies of standing group N. Right, it's Goddard in the front. And look, he comes tearing up the inside. Tony Viana, is he going to do it? Let's watch as they come out of the corner. He's done it. He just took Peter Lance. Peter Lance, who was on the front row of the grid, has now gone back to 5th spot. Tony Viana just zoomed through budget corner and took him. Here's Daryl Werner staying in with them, having his first taste of motor racing. And Mike White is there with them. Can you believe it? There's Ben Morganroot and Brian Ladies in there as well in the Delta Force Oval. As they go through the Top Sport S's, climb up the hill, nothing between these cars. This is where Robbie Smith's got to try and go on the inside, but Goddard's an old hand at this, stays in the middle of the road. If they come on the inside, he's going to close the door. On the outside, he just loosen the car out and go to the outside of the corner. Robbie Smith in 2nd, 3rd is Willie Hepburn. Great drive there, flying the flag for Delta Motorsport is Willie Hepburn. Wild stuff out here, you can't make a mistake. Viana's in 4th spot down behind him, and then behind him comes Peter Lance, who's been pushed and squeezed and nearly spun out of the way down to 5th, and Daryl Werner is staying in there. First time out in this motor racing, and young Werner from the south of Joburg is staying right in there with all these heavies, and probably got the best grandstand seat in the ground. Here comes Goddard, and let's see what Robbie Smith, one of the fastest drivers in the country, and Tony Viana is doing his zooming act. He comes at them like a fighter out of the sun. When they're least expecting them, a man they must never underestimate. Tony Viana just zooms through and takes them. Now he's got to wait for another opportunity. It's a tricky one, this. The cars will set up to keep going around the corner. Suddenly in the middle, you're putting on the brakes, and then you re-accelerate. Lovely shots. Viana checking the water. As they come through, it's 2 laps are gone. We've got 8 exciting laps to go.
Dis die klas A stryd wat ons dop hou op die oomblik in klas B. Martinus Breers wat van die wegspring rooster af van die Kuip getrek het. Hy's uit hierdie wedren. Ons weet nie waarom nie. In die voorloper in klas B op die oomblik Brian Luit in sy Delta Force Opel Kadett. Maar voor hom is daar 'n klas C motor, die van Mike White, en 'n klas D motor, die van Ben Morgenrood in die 7de en 8de posisie algeheel. Maar ek dink die skare se aandag is gevestig hier op die stryd in klas A. Kyk vir Willie Hepburn en Tony Viana. Nie een van hulle ken eers die idee om vir mekaar genade te gee nie, en ek dink Viana daarin geslaag om net wel verby te kom. Wat gaan gebeur in Westbank Draai? Dis Westbank Draai waar die dinge gaan gebeur. Harte weer met deur Willie Hepburn. Sy vervang geskrewe motor Opel Kadett 2 liter, en Viana is deur. Ja, hy's deur. Hy het vir Robbie Smith net voor hom, Tony Viana wat opgeskuif het na die 3de plek. En Peter Lance probeer in die binnekant. Dis 'n baie brawe manier daar. Dis een van die vinnigste draaie daar, en jy het 'n groot hart nodig om daarby man te probeer verbykom. Dis in 4de rad teen naby aan 170 km/h, seker maklik wanneer jy in daardie draai ingaan in hierdie klas A motors. Oor die Brilliant Science bultjie af in die rigting van Total Drive. Vinnigste rondetyd deur Willie Hepburn, 1 minuut 47,45 sekondes. En 'n standaard produksiemotor is dit besonder vinnig. Willie Hepburn op die oomblik nog steeds in die 4de posisie. En dit is die 3 BMW's van Geoff Goddard, Robbie Smith en Tony Viana. Wow, en die manne wat heen en weer daar in Continental aan gaan damper die beamptes daar van hulle. Dit is Philip Lemmer en sy klas B Opel Kadett wat daar van die baan af gejaag het. Kom ons kom weer terug na die voorlopers. As ons 'n opname gemaak het daarvan, sal ons probeer om vir die net te wys. Die aandag beslis gevestig hier op Geoff Goddard en Robbie Smith. wat saak uitspeel om die eerste posisie. Altyd van hulle in BMW's. Die eerste 3 manne op die oomblik natuurlijk in BMW's. Tony Viana wat opgeskuif het van heel wat verder terug op die wegspring rooster. Hy was 8ste op die oomblik in die 3de posisie. En kom ons kyk wat daar gebeur. Dit lyk vir my dis Philip Lemmer wat aan die binnekant daar van een van die Toyotas probeer verbykom. Ons kan nie uitmaak presies wie dit is nie. Is dit nommer 51? Nommer 51 is Chris Clark in sy klas C Toyota Conquest. En natuurlijk as hulle daar in mekaar raak, dan gaan jy heeltemal buite beheer raak. Dis Philip Lemmer aan die binnekant. En Steve Kona is ook daar in die middel van daardie onder ons hier betrokke. Heen en weer oor die baan en hy is baie gelukkig om nie daardie motor te rol daar. Die Steve Kona van die pad af, maar ek weet nie of hy die buitekant van die sperreëlings getref het nie. Nee, Steve Kona is terug terwyl Philip Lemmer nog steeds veg om sy motor onder beheer te kry en dis 'n baie harde stamp wat hy daar aan die neus opdoen. En goeie kamerawerk deur ons manne daar van Rob Rogers en sy manne wat in die tweede uitsaai eenheid is. Maar die voorloper nog steeds Geoff Goddard, Robbie Smith kort op sak en Tony Viana is besig om nader te kom. Wil hy besig om 'n bietjie verder terug te sak, maar hy hou nog steeds vir Pieter Lans van hom al weg. En Darryl Werner in die tweede van die Opel Cadets in klas E. In klas A is op die oomblik nog steeds in die 6de plek en hy is besig om net te kyk wat gaan voor hom aan. Dis sy tweede wedren, die eerste keer dat hy vandag hier in aksie is in die twee uitdene. Vinnigste rondetyd vir Tony Viana en daar kan beslis nog baie dinge gebeur as die einde van die 4de ronde. Tony Viana is nie iemand wat maklik ingee nie. Jy kan sien hoe hard hy op die remme klim daar en die motor se sterk beweeg uit. Hy werk met daardie stuurwiel om die motor onder beheer te hou. Tony Viana is 'n baie ervare sedanmotor renjaer. Ons het hom al reeds jarelang gewoon geraak aan sy bestuursvernuf agter die stuur van standaard produksiemotors en ook Westbank gemodifiseerde sedanmotors. Dit is Willie Hebben, Pieter Lans en Darryl Werner wat ons daar sien. Ongelooflike vertoning deur Mike White in sy klas C Toyota Conquest wat op die oomblik in die 7de plek algeheel is, kort agter Darryl Werner. Werklik, ons het reeds dit verskeie kere gesien, motor nommer 11, daar gaan hy deur geelblad sy 'n baie goeie debuut wat hy vandag maak. Ben Morgendrup loop voor in klas D en hy is in die 8de plek algeheel met 9de Brian Luit in sy klas B Delta Force Opel Cadet motor.
Well, just like last week at Kyalami, this week at Kyalami, these standing Group N cars are showing us exactly what motorsport's about. And is there going to be a change in positions here? Tony Viana going on the inside. Will he get through to second place? He's got second place. He's got second place from Robbie Smith. But Smith's going to come back at him. He's going to come back at him into Conti. Someone's going to have to give way. And I'm sure it won't be Tony Viana. It's not going to be Tony Viana. So he's got through. He's in second place. And neither is Robbie Smith giving way. There could be trouble here. Out of Continental tyres, that is unbelievable driving. Nobody's giving anything. They're trying everything they can. Watch as they come over. Geoff Goddard still in the lead. But that battle between Robbie Smith and Tony Viana, with Viana now in second place. And it looks like Peter Lons is trying to take Willie Hepburn as well on the circuit. There are battles going on all over Kyalami here this afternoon. And Geoff Goddard is not getting away. Tony Viana, there he is in second place. Robbie Smith right behind him. Any slipstream, will he try and pull out here in the main straight? He doesn't have a lot of space to do it. No great distance down the main straight here. It looks like Viana's got a bit more power. Will he try and go on the inside of Budget? No, he won't, but they're getting closer to Geoff Goddard. And when three of them go for the number 1 spot, there's going to be action and all sorts of things flying off those motor cars. Expensive damage when they touch. As Roger was saying, a panel beater's dream. Up towards the Top Sport S's. Goddard, Viana, Smith, Hepburn, Lance, and Werner. Look at this battle royal that's going on at the moment. It looks like Tony Viana has now got Geoff Goddard in his sights and has decided, Robbie Smith, I'm showing you the way around the circuit. Taking an inside line once again, Tony Viana. A wider line for Geoff Goddard. Down the 9 shaft they'll go. Of course, the fastest lap so far is Tony Viana. Can he catch Geoff Goddard? Halfway through this race, into the second half of the race. And what a battle that's going on at the moment. Goddard now sees the Winfield BMW of Tony Viana in all 3 mirrors. And Viana just wants to get past. Of course, he spun off in the first heat. And here they come. Geoff Goddard in the lead, Tony Viana second. They've now pulled away from Robbie Smith. Up they come into Nashua, out of Nashua, into the start-finish straight. And all the time, Viana is getting closer and closer. He leaves his braking just a touch later than what Geoff Goddard does, and he gets closer every single time they take a corner. The BMW dealer team certainly showing the way around Kyalami today. First and second, Robbie Smith third, Willie Hepburn fourth. Peter Lance, who was way up front in second spot to start off with, has now been demoted to fifth. Darrell Werner in sixth, and a brilliant ride by Mike White in his Stewart Conquest in seventh position. But there's the battle for first place. Geoff Goddard has it at the moment, and Tony Viana wants it badly. Up at Westbank, that's where the action's going to be, out of the Top Sport S as they go up the Winfield Hill, and then they will all of a sudden have Westbank in their sights, and that could be the problem. Up they go. Goddard has the inside line. What is Viana going to try and do? Go on the inside. Viana's all of a sudden got the inside line, but he's going to be shut out. But will he get through? He keeps it tight. Down the mine shaft they go. It's right side by side, the two of them. Viana is trying to get Goddard in towards Conti corner. And once again, we should see some action as they come down there. The braking left just a touch later by Tony Viana. And he has taken the lead as Viana, and he's come from 8th position on the grid. From 8th position on the grid to first. We've seen it already once this afternoon with Sarel van der Merwe. He's done it once already. And that's Pialo Franceschi going off there as well, taking it very wide out of Nashua. Back with the lead as we are. Geoff Goddard will not give up. He will not give up. Great friends with Derek Warwick, of course, last year racing in the Camel Lotus Formula 1 team. Round he comes again. Viana has the lead, but Goddard's not letting him get away. And it's amazing how they get onto a racing line, and if a car's right behind them, if the guy in front makes a mistake, invariably the guy right behind him will take that same bad line. And that could be a problem. Up towards the slow markers. Here comes the action. Peter Lance trying to take Willie Hepburn. Hepburn's too clever for him. He closes the door. Willie Hepburn at the moment lying in 4th position. And now they're coming into the slow markers. And it's still Tony Viana in the lead. Geoff Goddard there, but coming up very, very quickly is Robbie Smith. And Darrell Werner getting it on 2 wheels. But look at this, because Robbie Smith has now come right back into the picture, and he's not far behind either. So Viana, Goddard, Smith, all in BMWs. Then the Opel Cadet of Willie Hepburn, then Peter Lance, another BMW. Round they come once again, up to Westbank. Let's see what happens. That is, of course, where Tony Viana, the man from Velcom, took it last time. Viana, Goddard, Smith, Hepburn, Lance, and Werner. Werner nearly losing it a few seconds ago. But Goddard is trying for everything that he can. He wants to catch the man in the lead, Tony Viana, in car number 9. Goddard in car number 10. Out of Conti. Up towards Brilliant Signs. And then down at about 170, 180 kilometers an hour into Total Curve. And all 3 of them within sight of each other. It's now the chance of Viana to have Goddard in his 3 mirrors. Round they come to complete lap number 8, just 9 and 10 to go. Here they come. Tony Viana in the lead. Right behind him is Geoff Goddard. You can see him hanging onto that steering wheel. And right behind them is Robbie Smith with just 2 laps to go.
And what excitement this is. Tony Viana, we'd almost written him off at the end of last year, with Robbie Smith winning the Yellow Pages standing race here at Kyalami, Geoff Goddard winning the first race here today, and Tony Viana has come back very, very strongly indeed, and getting a bit ragged into the bargain as he gets around there with Goddard on his tail. I think that's going to be the final order. It's not the way Robbie Smith wants it to be, because it's been a rough race up there at the front. And just behind them, Willie Hepburn doesn't know where Peter Lance is coming from next. There he is. Then Lance will move off to the left. Then he'll go to the right. Every time he goes into a corner, Lance is trying something else. A little further back in Class C, incredible driver in the 1600 16-valve Toyota. Mike White is leading that class and walking it. Ben Morgan, who's not too far behind him. Brian Late is leading Class B. We lost Martinez Brias a little bit early. He's about 3 cars behind. And then in the 1400cc class, the Delta Force Opel of Mike O'Sullivan's leading that 1400 class. We saw Franceschi go off a little while ago, and then Lindsay Stein has been in there as well. So that's been a real tight battle. But we didn't want to lose this one. We've got a lap and a half to go. about 6 kilometres of this race to go. Robbie Smith beautifully turned out that JSN BMW, also getting ragged. They're trying hard. Those tyres are overheated. There's the 1400s. There's Francesca and Lindsay Stein as they come down the road. Here they come in. The lights are coming on. The lights are coming on. Keep out of the way as they come up on Abdul Jaffa as they come through the total curve. And he's staying very sportingly, staying out of the way as they go through and letting him through. Just look at those BMWs at full stress. The wheels are almost bending out of the chassis by the look of it there. And Viana with a lap to go. He's got Goddard with the red headlights behind him. Beautiful, just isn't a lovely sound of those cars. They'll be meeting the Delta Motorsport team at the national races down at Midvaal in 2 weeks' time. When they come up here, this is the Yellow Pages meeting South African Championship Inland Series. We'll have the Delta Motorsport team and Michael Briggs and some of the others racing there. It looks like Keith Agliotti walking back to the pits. Or is that? Take his helmet off, we see who it is. But one of the great drivers in this race too. His first outing here is Daryl Werner, but that might have been him walking back here. I'm not so sure about it because he was in 6th position, and I see Mike White has now moved up a position. Final stages of this race. I don't think Robbie Smith's got an answer. He's got 2 of those cars to pass if he wants to win, and those are 2 aggressive drivers. You see now Viana gets onto the job. He tricks them into going wide or trying to go narrow. He's a very thinking racing driver is Tony Viana. For the last time, the lights on to tell those slow cars, please just keep out of our way. I've got a major fight on my hand. There's there's Francisca and Lindsay Stein, heavy at it in the 1400 class. They're just about right on schedule. Saves them doing another lap as they come around there. Robbie Smith has lost it at Continental Tires again. He went wide there and he's lost that toe. It's going to be between, and it's definitely going to be. There's Mike O'Sullivan leading the class. He's leading the 1400 class in that Safik Delta Force car. As they come down, they've sportingly all got out of the way there for Tony Viana to come through. 9 is Viana, 10 is Goddard. Well, they're saying go to the left-hand side for Robbie Smith, but he's lost the toe. That's the final order, unless they make a mistake here. So he comes to the line. Tony Viana winning the 2nd of the Yellow Pages Standing Group N races. Got his lights on as he comes across the line. Geoff Goddard's next. Robbie Smith is 3rd. And then Lindsay Stale beats Franceschi in 2nd and 3rd position in the 1400 class. Won there by Mike O'Sullivan. And Willie Hepburn keeps out Peter Lance. There's Willie Hepburn, the Superboss Opel. Peter Lance behind in number 7. Just coming across the line there now is Abdul Jaffa, who sportingly moved out the other way. Goes very quickly. He's from Pretoria. He's a lawyer from Pretoria. And then coming up the road, we'll be watching Mike White will be coming up the road very shortly. He's had a great race there. Here's Ben Morganwood, and he's got Brian Late in his tail. Ahead of them, they've got Mike White, or they should have. There he is. C-Class win, the little 16-valve Toyota. That's the little RSI. Here it is. Inland champion, South African champion as well as Mike White. There's Ben Morganwood, and there is Brian Late. Winning Class B, so that's a nice outing for that Delta Force and Safik little Opel, the B-Class car. That's one of the little 2-litre 8-valve motor cars. And there's the winner, Tony Viana, and waving to the big crowd that's come out here to Kyalami for this Yellow Pages meeting. It's Tony Viana from the Free State. 2nd was Geoff Goddard, both in the Winfield BMWs. There we are now. 3rd was Robbie Smith, JSN BMW. Flying the flag for Opel, Willie Hepburn in the Superboss. Peter Lance next in the Dots Wheels BMW. And Mike White winning Class C and coming through in 6th position overall.